A few days ago, I had to film myself again for one of my next videos, so this is the perfect time to give you a list of 12 of my favorite tips on how to film yourself. How can you make it look better? And I'm just gonna say it, more cinematic. But also, how can you hide the fact that you're filming yourself with just one camera? So how can you make it look like a bigger production than it actually is? Tip number 1, take the right gear. Your camera, of course, but also lenses, different focal lengths. You don't want to shoot everything at 24mm. You need some variation. I took a 20mm and a 35mm, but ideally I should have also taken a longer focal length, like an 85mm. And if you have a drone, take your drone. Oh, and don't forget your tripod, because it's happened to me a few times already that, I'm packing my camera bag. Is everything in there? Camera, lenses, SD cards, yep, I have everything. I take my bike, because I don't have a car, so I take my bike, I ride half an hour to the location, I arrive at the location, I'm all pumped, let's set up my tripod. Don't forget your tripod. Okay, and talking about the location, tip number 2, find a quiet location, because let's face it, filming yourself is awkward and you don't want people passing by all the time. Also because they will ask, what are you doing? And I don't want to say that I'm filming myself, because it's weird. So then I have to make up the story that I'm filming the curly-haired, red-nosed squirrel in mating season. Just find a quiet location. It sounds like these are all jokes, but serious tips, okay? Tip number 3 is add camera movement. If you're filming yourself, you're gonna have static tripod shots, but also handheld shots. And of course, you can just mix tripod and handheld shots, but sometimes it looks better if you add some camera movement to the static shots in post. For example, zoom out when you're walking towards the camera, or zoom in when you're walking away from it. And tip number 4 is a variation on camera movement. Add camera shake, because that will hide the fact that you're filming yourself with a camera on a tripod. In DaVinci Resolve and probably also Premiere or Final Cut, it's super easy. Just look for the camera shake effect, drop it on your footage, and don't forget to tweak the settings, because the standard settings usually don't look good. And then one of my favorite tips, number 5, a seamless cut from a wide shot to a close-up. For example, you see here how I cut to a close shot when I look up, and it kinda looks like I filmed myself with 2 cameras, but it was just one. I just did exactly the same thing, the same movement 2 times. One time for a wide shot and one time for a close-up. And then when you cut those 2 shots together, it adds a lot of production value. Tip number 6, angles. Get different angles of everything you do. If you're walking, get a wide shot, get a close-up shot of your feet low to the ground, maybe even a moving shot of your feet, and there are so many more angles that you can get to make it look more interesting. It's always better to have too many angles than not enough. Number 7. Try it out first. Do a test shot first to see if your composition looks okay and if your position in the frame looks okay. For example, here I wanted myself moving diagonally through the frame. And if you don't test it first, you might end up walking here, for example, and you just get a boring shot. And always check your shots to see if you managed to get a good one. Okay, number 8? Yes, 8. Manual focus. Unless your face is in the shot, use manual focus. And focus on where you'll be in the shot. Or if you're moving through the shot, focus on where the interest of the shot is, the most important moment. But even if your face is clearly in the frame and you want to use autofocus, which is totally fine, remember that if you want to walk out of the frame, for example, the camera, the autofocus will start hunting, and you really don't want that because it looks weird. So in that case, it's also better to use manual focus. Number 9, compositions. Think about your compositions, but also think about what the composition will look like once you're in the frame. Because at first glance, your composition might look okay, but as soon as you walk in the frame, it could look weird. So again, try it out first and check if it looks okay. Number 10, your creativity has no limits. Even though you're filming yourself and you have to put your camera on a tripod most of the time, there are ways to add movement to shots of yourself. One time, for example, I used my tripod upside down to get this cool shot of my feet while I was walking. Or here, same but on my bike. Also really cool shots. So be creative. Your creativity has no limits. Maybe that's an overstatement, but you get the point. Number 11. It's not all about you. Don't forget to take shots of your surroundings, details, the weather, the environment. That's what people want to see. If you make a whole video consisting of nothing but shots of you, no. Make sure that you get everything. And again, too many shots is always better than not enough. Okay, and then the last one, number 12, POV shots. In my opinion, a super easy way to make your video look more interesting. So here, for example, I cut from a close to my face to what I'm seeing, a point of view. It looks good, it's easy, it looks interesting, and it adds a lot of value to your video. Okay, that's it. Be creative. Just do it yourself. Be the director, the DOP, the gaffer, the assistant director, what else do we have? The actor, all in one. You can do it. You got this. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.